Ladies and gentlemen, kindly stand up to give a very warm welcome to the Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, Hon'ble Pravind Jugnauth. Thank you very much. You can be seated. Thank you. Members of the press, thank you very much. Hon'ble Pravind Jugnauth, Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius. Honorable Alain Ganou, Minister of Land Transport and Light Rail, Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade. Honorable Main Kumar Siratan, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance. Her Excellency, Mrs. K. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius. Mr. Kazimierz Marcinkiewicz, the ex-Prime Minister of Poland. Mr. Avesha Sigulam, Governor of the Bank of Mauritius. Mr. Daneshwarnath Thakur, Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission of Mauritius. Mr. Sundararaman Ramamurthy, MD and CEO of BSE. Heads and representatives of the Diplomatic Corps. Heads and representatives of the public, private, and parastatal bodies, dignitaries, members of the press, distinguished guests. Also, and welcome also, and distinguished guests, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of AFEXtree Stock Exchange, allow me to extend a very warm welcome to each and everyone present here for the launch of AFEXtree and bell-ringing ceremony to mark the listing of bonds worth US$ 2 billion on AFEXtree securities list. AFEXtree is Mauritius's first international stock exchange and the fastest growing stock exchange in Mauritius, offering state-of-the-art electronic platform and innovative products and services comparable to leading global jurisdictions. So without any further ado, I have the honor and privilege to welcome Mr. Arun Tiwari, Director of the Board of AFEXtree, for his welcome speech. Can we please give him a very warm welcome?
I'll need it later. Honorable Prime Minister of Republic of Mauritius, Mr. Pravind Jugnauth, Mr. Kazimierz Marcinkiewicz, former Prime Minister of Poland, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade, Mr. Alain Ganou, Honorable Minister for Financial Services and Good Governance, Mr. Mehun Swithun, Excellency, Mrs. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius, Mr. Pramod Nirunjan, Secretary to Cabinet, Mr. Harvesh Srigulam, Governor, Bank of Mauritius, Mr. Dhaneshwar Thakur, Chief Executive of Financial Services Commission of Mauritius, Mr. Sundararaman Ramamurthy, MD and CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange, heads and representatives of diplomatic corps, colleagues and directors on the board of AFEXtree, dignitaries from Mauritius and abroad, representatives from print and electronic media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and privilege to me to welcome you all today for the launch of AFEXtree, the capital raising platform of FNX, along with bell ringing ceremony to celebrate listing of Expert Nest and Earth Nest. It's about 22 months back, on October 25th, 2021, AFEXtree was launched by Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pravind Jugnauth, giving wings to his vision of Mauritius as an international financial center in the august presence of Her Excellency, Mrs. Nandini K. Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius. It's therefore a matter of special pride for us today that we have come together to not just celebrate our milestones thus far, but more importantly, to launch services of AFEXtree to address Africa and emerging markets' key challenge, that is access to capital at optimal cost. The private sector financing has been one of the challenges in Africa. Persistent inflation, prolonged tightening of global financial conditions, high cost of capital, domestic currency depreciations, and lower financial inflows often cause debt distress. Perception of transparency and governance has often been the cause of private financiers to take cautious view to invest in prospects. AFEXtree has been conceptualized to reinforce efforts to mobilize resources and access to growth capital for qualified companies and projects from interested and qualified investors. A technology platform like AFEXtree can increase the efficiency of both domestic and as well as international resources mobilization. In reaching this watershed, we have benefited immensely from the support made available to us across the spectrum by many people and institutions. To elaborate, a strong support from policymakers is spearheaded by a Ministry of Financial Services and Good Governance and Financial Services Commission under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pravind Jugnauth. Unwavering support and encouragement from our shareholders, members, banks, BSE Technologies, to name a few. Launch of AFEXtree today is by far a humble beginning to mobilize private sector financing, which we hope and believe will contribute significantly to the African continent in general, and Mauritius as an international financial center in particular. We are happy to constantly add to our products and technology-led services, which makes AFEXtree a dependable and reliable market infrastructure institution from Mauritius, catering to Pan-Africa and beyond. We will have to evolve and strive constantly to innovate and offer world-class infrastructure and services to incentivize market participants to partner with us and adopt best practices, not just from other global exchanges, but also their financial ecosystem and policies that we already have in place. And in doing this, we will depend on support and empathy of regulators and policymakers on a continuing basis. Of crucial importance would be the support and blessings of Honorable Prime Minister for the success of this venture and the significant contribution it can make to Mauritius' economy. On behalf of AFEXtree, its board and management, I can assure the Honorable Prime Minister that this August gathering, all participating members, regulatory and supervisory entities, that we will ensure the highest levels of transparency, governance, compliance, and adopt best global practices as we go ahead. I thank you all, in particular the respected Prime Minister and Her Excellency High Commissioner of India to Mauritius for being with us today on this very special occasion. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tiwari, for your welcome address. And this brings us nicely to our next speaker this morning, Her Excellency Mrs. K. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius. Let's put our hands together and give her a warm welcome.
Thank you, MC. Honorable Mr. Pravind Jugnauth, Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, Honorable Mr. Alain Ganou, Minister of Land Transport and Light Rail, Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade, Honorable Mr. Mahen Kumar Seerathan, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance, His Excellency Mr. Kazimierz Marcinkiewicz, former Prime Minister of Poland, Mr. Harvesh C. Gulam, Governor of the Bank of Mauritius, Mr. Dhaneshwarnath Thakur, Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission, Mr. Sundar Raman Ramamurthy, MD and CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange Limited, now called BSC, Mr. Arun Tiwari, Director of Afrinex, Ms. Krishna Gangopadhyay, CEO and MD of Afrinex, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I see many familiar faces here. Good morning, namaste, bonjour. I'm delighted and honored to join the launch of the new capital raising platform called AFEXtree, as well as the bell ringing to mark the listing of 2 bonds worth $2 billion on Afrinex. It is not every day that one participates in the launch of a path-breaking new platform with the potential to transform a country, a continent, and the world. I believe that we are on one such occasion today. It is also not every day that one sees a far-sighted vision transform into reality on the ground so quickly. I recall that less than 2 years ago, I had the privilege of joining you, His Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister, in launching Afrinex and watching the Prime Minister's vision of having a pan-African exchange in Mauritius come true. Barely 2 years later, we stand here to congratulate His Excellency Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth and the government of Mauritius for their leadership, and congratulate the Afrinex team for their hard work in ensuring Afrinex's impressive success in this very short period of time. In barely 1.5 years, Afrinex has emerged as the largest stock exchange in Mauritius in terms of market capitalization of listed securities, and is today launching an innovative capital raising platform called AFEXtree. And both the bonds that are being listed here today, if I may say, are eco-friendly bonds, futuristic bonds. I think Krishna ji will speak a little more about them. What is even more commendable, in my view, is that Afrinex is being recognized internationally for its offerings, backed by capital market policies and regulations benchmarked to global standards. Indeed, with the success of Afrinex, Mauritius is showing the world that IFC Mauritius has the financial know-how and experience and is ideally suited to be the financial and capital hub of Africa. We in India are happy that the vision of Afrinex sprang from the Honorable Prime Minister's visit to the Bombay Stock Exchange in 2019. Given the special ties between Mauritius and India, it is no surprise that India supported the idea of setting up an international exchange in Mauritius that could potentially serve as a gateway to Africa. It's also no surprise that the Government of India invited the Bombay Stock Exchange to support the setting up of Afrinex by providing the necessary technology, skill, and infrastructure, especially the exchange and clearing and settlement technology platform. I'm therefore deeply honored to be a part of this important step forward for Afrinex and remain confident that Afrinex will help realize our shared vision for Mauritius, for India, for Africa, and add further depth to the rich India-Mauritius relationship. And I hope that today's launch of AFEXtree brings in a new era of collaboration between companies, arrangers, and investors. Because the one thing without which there can be neither growth nor development today is capital, money. AFEXtree can become a game-changing platform with the potential to redefine the funding ecosystem like similar platforms have done in the United States and India, so that capital is available to tap into the tremendous opportunities in Africa for sustainable growth and development. We need such a capital-raising platform to forge a capital market space that is currently dispersed, scattered in Africa due to the lack of liquidity and inability of international investors to transparently assess African companies. I know that these are issues that are going to be discussed in the panel discussion, and I hope that these two focus issues are indeed addressed and workable solutions are also identified. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as wise people say, in life, timing is everything. I think that these AFRINEX initiatives are coming at an opportune time when Africa, the world's youngest continent with extraordinary resources, is being seen as the growth continent of the future. Tomorrow, our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, will participate in the BRICS Summit in South Africa and will once again demonstrate India's continued belief and commitment to Africa's growth and Africa's rise. As many of you know, India signed its first preferential trade agreement in Africa with Mauritius about 2.5 years ago, called SECPA, not only to enhance Mauritius-India economic engagement, but also to make Mauritius a hub to Africa for Indian trade and investment. Many of you probably know, again, that India is one of the top 5 large investors into Africa and has invested over $75 billion into this continent. But many of you may not know that over 90% of India's $75 billion investment into Africa has been routed through one single country, Mauritius. Thank you. With the India-Mauritius SECPA already showing results in boosting bilateral trade, and with Mauritius being party to the new AFCFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, I believe that through AFRINEX, Mauritius could become a fundraising destination that brings the Indian economy not only closer to Mauritius, but also to Africa, and helps integrate the African continent economically. It could also generate greater employment opportunities across the international financial market value chain. I also believe that AFRINEX is uniquely positioned to define the contours of a Mauritius IFC, Indian Gift City corridor that further augments the international financial center services offered by Mauritius, opening a door to deeper economic and financial engagement between our two countries, Mauritius and India. I also personally feel that AFEXtree is opportune in a post-COVID world where, like music, news, or films, increasingly an international financial center of tomorrow will no longer only be about physical infrastructure. It'll be more about offering transaction platforms that seamlessly capture global financial transactions in investment and trade. And I believe that is the step that we are all launching today. And I congratulate AFRINEX for that. And what is helpful in this is that although the focus of AFRINEX is primarily on Africa, the exchange is uniquely positioned in a time zone that allows it to cater to European, American, as well as African and Asian markets. Today, global companies from UK, Canada, Africa, Middle East, and India are preferring Mauritius as an international financial center, and international exchanges like AFEXtree to raise growth capital, gain international visibility, and drive global economic growth and sustainable employment. You'll all agree this is wonderful news, just the kind of news that the world needs. Before closing, I would like to extend a special thanks once again to His Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pravind Jugnauth, for his visionary initiative and for making the BSc and India a partner in this exciting new journey. I would also like to thank the BSc for their steadfast support, not only in terms of technology, skills, and manpower, but also for investing in AFEXtree. On this auspicious occasion, I pray for the success of AFEXtree and warmly congratulate the directors of AFEXtree and Ms. Krishna Gangopadhyay and her team for their determined efforts and commendable commitment to advancing AFEXtree despite several challenges. I extend my best wishes to the investors who have betted on AFEXtree with their wallets. I hope you all make money, as well as the government and the people of Mauritius. Thank you.
Excellency, thank you very much for your insightful and encouraging words. And now, may I have the honor and privilege to invite our chief guest, Honorable Pravind Jugnauth, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, for his keynote address. Let's put our hands together and give him a warm welcome.
My colleague ministers, Her Excellency, the High Commissioner of the Republic of India, the Managing Director, the Chief Executive Officer, directors and team members of AFEXtree, the former Prime Minister of Poland, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to join you today to witness a milestone in the development of the capital market landscape of our international financial center. Today, we welcome financial market innovations from AFEXtree that involve a bell-ringing ceremony of bonds and the launch of AFEXtree platform. The Pan-African focused International Securities Exchange, AFEXtree, was launched in October 2021 as another securities exchange, more than 30 years after the inception of the Stock Exchange of Mauritius. This event is particularly timely, not only for the capital market sector in Mauritius, but for the whole economy and for our jurisdiction. Many jurisdictions are reoriented towards new products and services. It is thus timely for the country and for stakeholders to bring innovation in the financial markets. These new products and services are essential to reaffirm the position of our jurisdiction as a serious international financial center. Ladies and gentlemen, on 28th July 2023, the Finance Minister of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, announced that Indian domestic companies can now go for direct listing to foreign exchanges. Therefore, Indian companies will now be able to access foreign funds on various exchanges overseas. Furthermore, in her announcement, Srimati Sitharaman also encouraged public entities in India to tap the debt market for their funding needs. This actually falls in line with the incentives which are being provided in Mauritius. In fact, the Mauritius International Financial Center has seen steady expansion in terms of the number of players, product offerings, and volume of activity. The financial services sector is at present the second largest contributor to our GDP. This year, some exceptional measures were crafted in the budget for the financial sector to improve the ease of doing business and to review the attractiveness of some of our financial services products. To ensure that we remain ahead of the curve, we are removing barriers for investors. I will mention a few of our recent initiatives. The partial exemption granted in respect of interest earned by a collective investment scheme or a closed-end fund established in Mauritius has been increased from 80% to 95%. Consequently, the effective corporate tax on interest income will amount to 0.75% instead of 3%. Let us take the example of an Indian investor who is investing in a debt instrument in Mauritius. The investor will pay only a tax rate of 8.25% on interest income compared to 10% in other jurisdictions like Singapore. In order to promote our green bond market and investment in green projects, the interest income derived from all sustainable projects are exempted from tax application. Furthermore, interest income derived from bonds, debentures, and sukuks issued by an overseas entity to finance renewable energy projects approved by the Director General of the Mauritius Revenue Authority will be exempted from tax. The definitions of closed-end fund and collective investment scheme have been amended in the Securities Act to include the words money market instruments or debt instruments, including loans, debt obligations, or similar instruments. This will no doubt enhance the attractiveness of Mauritius as a fund domicile by allowing funds to invest in loans or similar debt instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, AFEXtree is introducing the electronic platform AFEXtree, which will help issuers to connect with other market participants to ease private placement of securities and reporting. Issuers availing of the AFEXtree's bidding feature will benefit from better price discovery and transparency in the overall process of fundraising. Such a platform is a common practice in jurisdictions such as the United States of America, South Africa, and India. AFEXtree provides a platform for the trading of securities, derivatives, as well as market depth and liquidity, which is not yet obtainable in the African exchanges. And in this respect, we are proud that AFEXtree has chosen Mauritius as its base location. This bears testimony to the trust that investors have in our jurisdiction. An exchange is an important part of our capital markets infrastructure. It can facilitate innovation by financing the process that converts good ideas into successful enterprises. It can mobilize capital to take full advantage of growth opportunities. I must say that since its launch in October 2021, AFRINEX has evoked significant interest in both Mauritius and on the international market because of its unique value proposition of offering robust listing rules, extended trading hours, spanning multiple time zones, and its state-of-the-art technology platform. Today, AFRINEX has met its primary objective of positioning itself in the region, and this further consolidates the image of the Mauritius International Financial Center as one of substance. I congratulate Ms. Krishna Gangopadhyay, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of AFRINEX, who has been instrumental in putting together the building blocks of AFRINEX with the support of the Board of Directors. And today, AFRINEX is contributing to support the financial development of our economy and has also become an undeniable factor in positioning Mauritius as a financial center for the region. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa represents a land of opportunities, but it has an urgent need for funding. Based on a study conducted by Capital Economics in 2021, Africa needs around $350 billion to meet its sustainable objectives. We are also aware that India today has an emerging number of wealthy families who are looking for opportunities to invest in impactful projects. I am convinced that AFRINEX can play a pivotal role in paving the India-Africa corridor. AFRINEX can offer the stability, certainty, and predictability of the Mauritius International Financial Center to potential investors who want to make sure that their investments are protected. I am confident that this initiative will succeed in further leveraging Mauritius as an attractive jurisdiction for issuers seeking to raise capital and for companies seeking a listing in Mauritius. I would like to thank the AFRINEX team for its firm belief, commitment, and trust in the Mauritius International Financial Center. I am confident that this is just the beginning of a series of innovations which will continue to strengthen the Mauritius International Financial Center brand. I thank you for your kind attention.
Honorable Prime Minister, thank you very much for your keynote address. In preparation of a launch of AFEXtree, the capital raising platform, we now request Ms. Krishna Gangopadhyay, MD and CEO of AFRINEX, to give an overview of the platform. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today's session. And the idea would be to brief all of you about what this platform is about in short before Honorable Prime Minister launches the platform. So, what is AFEXtree? Next slide. We say it's a capital raising platform. So when we say capital, we mean it could be debt, it could be equity, it could be collective investment schemes, it could be alternate investment fund, name it, all sorts of entities basically that needs to raise capital and is eligible to raise capital. And what's raising? This is a private placement platform and a price discovery platform. So it's not a platform where you just come and you return back home hopeless that you are not getting the right price, because you have the option to choose and seek bidding wherever you want and do price discovery, or you could even choose to have the best of your deals and do reporting. And of course, when we say platform, we are saying it's an electronic platform. So next slide. So who can use AFEXtree? The slide is long. I wouldn't read it all out for you, but I think intuitively you would understand that it really means a whole host of participants in the capital market. Whoever needs to access platform and is qualified can access the platform. So the capital seekers are the entities who are seeking capital, as I mentioned in the previous slide, and the capital providers are the investors and arrangers. The Securities Act in Mauritius offers, and if you look into the AFEXtree rules, they offer a very broad array of investors globally who is eligible to participate, and so also for arrangers. So that really increases the opportunity of access to capital for whoever comes and registers and seeks to raise capital through this platform. Next slide. So how does this work? First and foremost is that for someone to reach out to investors or arrangers, they have to first be qualified in our platform itself. So there is a registration process, there's a pre-qualification process for those who seek capital. But it's not just one way. Even those who want to invest also have to go through a pre-qualification process in terms of registration and verification. So once that is done, anyone who seeks to raise capital can set up an issue, raise capital, and that is by receiving interest in some instances. In some other instances, by just setting an arrangement wherever they're meeting an investor through the platform and not going ahead for a detailed bidding process. If you do a bidding, then it's up to you to choose and accept an offer. Again, one would do that on competitive pricing basis, and they close a deal. So it's a very simplified process, not many steps to it. If you are interested in being able to raise capital, if you're confident about your desires and dreams, and if that is backed by good plan and strategy, for sure, we believe that this platform can give an entity which wants to raise funds the visibility with international investors, and international investors a platform where they can see pre-qualified investors from issuers or capital raisers from Africa. That's very difficult, as we will discuss later on in the panel discussion, in terms of transparency and the pre-qualification bid, which is a very important value addition that Mauritius as a jurisdiction will offer to global investors who want to invest in Africa, and of course beyond Africa as well. So that was the brief overview, and now to launch the platform, may I please request Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, Mr. Pravind Jugnauth, to launch the platform by pressing the launch video. And I also want to invite on stage Mr. Sundaraman Ramamurthy, BSc MD and CEO, who has been the pillar in helping us set up this platform. Thank you, Mr. Ramamurthy.
looking to raise capital through debt, equity? Need investments for your collective investment schemes, alternative investment funds? Or you are an investor looking for new attractive investment opportunities? Introducing AFEXtree from Afrinex, a state-of-the-art electronic platform that facilitates fundraising through private placements by connecting pre-qualified capital seekers with capital providers. The platform's multi-asset, multi-currency capital raising features allow better price discovery, thereby optimizing cost of capital. Powered by Afrinex Stock Exchange in collaboration with BSE Technologies, AFEXtree is transforming the process of capital raising. Realize your financial needs with AFEXtree.
Well, congratulations for the successful launch of AFEXtree, the capital raising platform. Could we please have everyone in the middle of the stage for a group photo, please? I'll take this. Thank you very much. We request all dignitaries to be seated again, please. The launch of the platform would be incomplete without celebrating the very first transaction executed through it. Congratulations to ICI International Limited and India Optima Fund PCC for successfully securing investments through AFEXtree for their US dollar liquid reserve fund. We shall now proceed with the gong ringing ceremony to celebrate a listing of US dollar bonds of two esteemed issuers. Before that, please allow me to share the significance of bell ringing. World over, gong ceremony is held for several reasons. One of them is to mark the stock market success. The gong ceremony is also a ritual to inaugurate and celebrate success. The vibrations of the sound of a gong represents the ripple effect in the universal energy. Before we call our issuers on stage, let me give a brief description about Afrinex securities list and AFEXgreen. Afrinex securities list is an innovative platform of Afrinex providing simplified and rapid listing for a wide range of securities by global issuers in any currency. AFEXgreen is an exclusive platform for listing of green and sustainable securities. Our first issuer of the day is Earthnest Limited, who has listed USD 500 million sustainable bonds on Afrinex securities list and AFEXgreen. We shall request the Honorable Prime Minister to proceed with the ringing of the gong. And to also do the honors, we call on stage the founder of Earthnest, Mr. Chintan Panara, and the Executive Director of Earthnest, Ms. Nidhi Kaur, for the bell ringing ceremony. Earthness Limited is established in the year 2020 in England and Wales. As an organization, it is helping consumers achieve a more sustainable future. The company produces sustainable bags and sheeting made from starch and other natural products. These products are 100% plastic-free. These sheeting and bio bags are waterproof and oil-resistant, which provides an oxygen barrier and makes them perfect for food packaging. Earthness biobags are certified as biodegradable by TÜV Rheinland, Germany, and UCAS, United Kingdom. Shall we now proceed? Let's begin with the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gong. Many congratulations to Earthness for successfully listing $500 million sustainable bond on Afrinex securities list. Thank you very much for doing the honors and getting your seat. Honorable Prime Minister, please stay with us. We need you for one more gong ceremony, please. Our second gong ringing is for listing of ExpertNest's $1.5 billion bonds. We would like to call Mr. Arun Kar, the founder of ExpertNest, and Mr. Bishwanath Patnaik, chairman of ExpertNest, to come on stage for the gong ringing ceremony. ExpertNest Limited is established in the year 2016 and is registered in England and Wales. The company is dedicated to build smarter systems that create a more intelligent world for mankind. ExpertNest offers custom software development services using various technologies, including augmented and virtual reality, artificial intelligence, data processing platform, geospatial intelligence, amongst others. Let's now begin with the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to the whole team of ExpertNest for the listing of $1.5 billion bond. Honorable Prime Minister, other guests of honor, as well as Mr. Arun Kar and Mr. Bishwanath Patnaik, you're kindly requested to be seated again. And thank you for doing the honors. This launch today morning would not have been successful if we were not graced by the presence of our chief guests and other guests of honor. And to thank them, I would like to call upon Mr. Arun Tiwari, Director of Board of Afrinex, to present a plaque to the Honorable Prime Minister. Please stay with us. And now I also call upon Mr. Krishna Gangopadhyay, Managing Director and CEO of Afrinex, to also remit a token of appreciation on the launch of AFEXtree to the Honorable Prime Minister also, please. Honorable Prime Minister, thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you. Ms. Krishna, please stay with us. We need you more. We request you to present a token of appreciation on launch of AFEXtree to Honorable Alanganu, Minister of Land Transport and Light Rail, Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade. Thank you very much, Honorable Alanganu, for gracing us with your presence. And Ms. Krishna, once more, we would appreciate if you could remit a token of appreciation to Honorable Mayan Kumar Siratan, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance. Thank you very much. Honorable Ministers, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence today. And now I request Mr. Arun Tiwari to present a plaque to Her Excellency Mrs. K. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius. And also to Her Excellency, we request Ms. Krishna to present a token of appreciation to Her Excellency Mrs. K. Nandini Singla on behalf of AFEXtree. Excellency, thank you very much for your presence today. Ms. Krishna, thank you very much. I will still need you again, Ms. Krishna. We would request you to please present a memento to Mr. Mandar Apte, the CEO of ICICI International Limited, please. May I request Mr. Mandar to come on stage? Thank you very much to receive the memento. Thank you very much. Now, we would like to present a memento to the issuers of Expertness and Earthnest. May I request Mr. Biswanath Patnaik and Mr. Arunkar from Expertness to come on stage to receive a token of appreciation. We have one more round, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Patnaik and Mr. Carr. May I now request Mr. Chintara Panara and Mrs. Nidhi Kaur from Earthnest to come on stage to receive a token of appreciation, please. And congratulations again. Thank you very much, Mr. Panara and Mrs. Kaur, for doing the honors also. This successful launch would not have been possible without the contribution of many people and organizations. To this effect, I call upon Ms. Krishna Gangopadhyay, MD and CEO of AFRINEX, to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pravind Jugnauth, Mr. Kazimierz Marcinkiewicz, former Prime Minister of Poland, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade, Mr. Alan Ganu, Honorable Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance, Mr. Mahendra Siyuratan, Her Excellency Mrs. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius, Mr. Harvesh Sigulam, Governor, Bank of Mauritius, Mr. Daneshwar Nath Thakur, Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission, Mr. Sundararaman Ramamurthy, MD and CEO BSE, heads and representatives of the diplomatic corps, dignitaries from Mauritius and abroad, members of the media and press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This occasion today has been possible because of the vision and spirit that Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Pravind Jugnauth had shared long back and set up International Exchange AFEXtree. I would like to thank Her Excellency Mrs. K. Nandini Singla, High Commissioner of India to Mauritius, for her unflinching support to AFEXtree ever since its inception. We are also grateful to the Finance Minister, Mr. Ranganathan Padiachi, for his passion in helping set up AFEXtree and make it operational. We are also grateful to Mr. Mahendra Siyuratan, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance, and Mr. Alan Ganu, Minister of Foreign Affairs, for his passion since setup of AFEXtree and making operations a reality internationally. This has been an unique platform from Mauritius, and I'm confident and hopeful that this will set a trend in how financiers meet the capital seekers in times to come. This is because Mauritius has now set up its own international state-of-the-art capital raising platform that will redefine the primary market space. This will greatly help issuers from Africa and even globally to leverage such a platform in a transparent and cost-efficient way. We thank the promoters, directors, and founders of EarthNest as the first private sector issuer on AFEXgreen platform. The previous one was Exim Bank of India, for listing their USD 500 million standalone bond and also on AFEXtree securities list. Your dreams are shared, sir, as we also are very passionate about the sustainability goals. We thank promoters, directors, and founders of ExpertNest for listing their USD 1.5 billion standalone bond on AFEXtree securities list. We understand that this organization, ExpertNest, has much higher ambitions than what we see today, and we hope that with this listing, it gets much bigger platform for their bigger ambitions and wings to them. We would like to thank all the regulators, FSC, and Bank of Mauritius who have been instrumental in laying down the regulatory contours that has made Mauritius comparable with other global jurisdictions. We would also like to thank Mr. Sundararaman Ramamurthy, BSE MD and CEO, for being our bedrock as technology partner that enables to transform aspirations to reality. Setting up AFEXtree has not been easy, and our first director, Dr. S.K. Chadda, and our mentor, Mr. Rajram Pratap, has been our beacon. Thank you for being so. We thank our chair, Mr. Arun Tiwari, for his support and guidance in letter and spirit through thick and thin, as also our other shareholders. We thank our distinguished directors from AFEXtree Clearing House, who have helped redefine our depository services and its vision constantly. Especially thank you, Mr. Bishwanath Patnaik, for your support and guidance. We also take this opportunity to thank our brokers, depository participants who have come, and more importantly, those who have come forward to be part of strengthening the capital market ecosystem in Mauritius. We thank all the distinguished guests who have taken the effort to come from far and wide, excited about AFEXtree, this new capital raising platform. We are very grateful to the media and publishers who have gathered here today for their coverage. I would also like to thank my colleagues from AFRINEX and BSc, whose only motto is to ensure that there is seamless execution without compromise. Thank you very much for your time and being such a nice guest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Krishna. Please stay with us. We will ask all our dignitaries also to join you for a souvenir photo, because we will also request our two issuers to come on stage for a group photo and mark this event. So we could also call on stage Mr. Patnaik, Mr. Carr, Mr. Panara, and Ms. Carr, please. We can have two on the other side if you want. Yeah. Can we also have a big round of applause for this big event today? Thank you very much for doing the honors. Thank you. No? Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, we have now come to the end of our first session of the event. We will now break for lunch at the restaurant. We invite all our guests to kindly proceed for lunch. We request you to be back by 1:30 for the panel discussion on the topic, Bridging the Financing Gap in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank you for being such a lovely audience, and on behalf of AFRINEX Exchange, I wish you bon appétit.